So, no disturbance in classes, online digital lessons with HD quality transmissions, subject experts and experienced faculty. Unlike other app, we have our own teachers for assuring 100% quality education. If you too want our quality teachings are at your premises and institutions, not only SSC, but other various courses are in easy method covering state syllabus. We successfully taught at pre-examination period to government SSC students in COVID pandemic. We made grand success our online teachings at private colleges also. Why are you waiting? Just dial for online admissions. Rush and join in ABC Education Learning app.
Students, this is Krishna Priya. I am here to teach you the biological science in ABC Educational Learning app. So, students, it is raining heavily outside, so don't go outside. Stay at your homes and stay safe in your homes. So, students, always desire to learn something useful. So I am saying this is a right platform for you to gain the knowledge. Always strive to gain the knowledge, not to rush towards the marks. So to gain the knowledge, this is the right platform. That is ABC Educational Learning app is a right platform to gain the knowledge along with your marks in the SSC. So please do join us in ABC Educational Learning app. Please contact us. Follow the scrolling numbers below the screen. So students, in the previous classes we have discussed, that is the first topic, that is first lesson, nutrition, the food supplying system. First topic, nutrition. So from 5 classes we are discussing this nutrition topic, and today I am going to wind up this topic. There is some of the lesson is remain. I am going to wind up this lesson today. So in this nutrition lesson we discussed about heterotrophic nutritions, autotrophic nutritions, about photosynthesis, how the nutrition takes place in the animals as well as in the plants, right? We have discussed all these in the previous classes. In the yesterday's class, we discussed about the digestive system, how the digestive system is working, how the nutrition is helpful for the human being, how this digestive system is going to take place in the human being, and in the human being we have a special digestive tract. It is useful for the digestion. So in this digestion process we have discussed, that is the food we are intaking, it's from mouth to the pharynx, pharynx to the esophagus, next to the stomach, from stomach to the small intestine, next small intestine to large intestine, and large intestine the undigested or wasted food material are sent through the anus. That process is called as the defecation. So in the digestion lesson, in the digestion topic, there is one chart we discussed in the earlier class. There are some enzymes which is useful for the digestion of food materials like carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. These are the nutrients. These can be digested by using some enzymes we discussed. We discussed one chart, one table which is present in the textbook. That is, firstly in the mouth the partial digestion takes place. First in the mouth, the consisting of salivary glands. These glands secretes ptyalin or salivary amylase. Mana mouth lo unde salivary glands em chestayi, salivary amylase it will secrete. So these salivary amylase digest the or breaks down the carbohydrates into the maltose or dextrose. So complex unna food materials, complex carbohydrates ni simple carbohydrates ga change chestayi. What is that? That is salivary amylase. In the mouth itself partial digestion takes place. Next the food enters into the stomach. In the stomach stomach releases some gastric juices. Those are called HCl, as well as one enzyme it secretes, that is pepsin enzyme. This pepsin enzyme, what it will do? It will breaks down the proteins into peptones. This is the caused by the pepsin enzyme, which is secreted by the gastric juice. This gastric juice is secreted by the stomach. In the stomach, it secretes the gastric juice. Gastric juice secretes one enzyme, that is pepsin. Pepsin breaks down the proteins into the peptones. Here the partial protein digestion takes place within the stomach. Next, the food enters into the duodenum, and in the partial digestion takes place in the liver as well as in the pancreas. Firstly, we come across the liver. In the liver secretes one juice, that is bile juice we have discussed. These bile juice, what it will do? The complex fats are get digested into the simple fats by the emulsification process. We have discussed in the earlier classes, right? These bile juice converts the complex fats into the simple fats by the emulsification process. Next, pancreas. These pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. Pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. These juice releases three enzymes. What are these three enzymes? That is trypsin, amylase and lipase. How this amylase, trypsin and lipase will work? This trypsin, what it will do? It will break down the complex carbohydrates into maltose or dextrose. These carbohydrates digestion takes place in the mouth and it resumed in the stomach. Next, the digestion takes place in the pancreas, that is in the small intestine, right? Next, trypsin. What this trypsin will do? This trypsin converts the proteins into the peptones. It breaks down the proteins into the peptones. Next enzyme, lipase. This lipase, what it will do? This lipase break down the fats into fatty acids as well as glycerol. It breaks down complex fats into fatty acids as well as the glycerol. Next, after this, the food enters into the small intestine. In the small intestine secretes intestinal juices. It will secrete intestinal juices. These juice releases two enzymes, that is sucrase, next peptidase. One is sucrase and another one is peptidase. This sucrase enzyme, what it will do? It will breaks down the sucrose into the glucose. With the help of this sucrase enzyme, the sucrose can be break down into the glucose. Next, with the help of this peptidase enzyme, the peptones, these are converted into the amino acids. Here, these are some enzymes which are helpful for the digestion or breakdown of complex carbohydrates, proteins, fats into the simple compounds. The digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and lipids are taken or processed with the help of these three enzymes. We can see the table which is described in the textbook about these enzymes briefly, and this is all about the yesterday's class we have discussed, and today we have to discuss about the flow chart. What is the flow chart of digestive system? Flow chart of digestive system. Here, firstly we take the food to the mouth. The food we will take into the mouth. From mouth, it enters into the buccal cavity. Food enters into the buccal cavity. Next, it enters into the pharynx. From the pharynx, it enters into the esophagus. In the esophagus, it enters like a wave-like motions. That movement is called as the peristaltic movement. So, from pharynx to esophagus. Next, from esophagus to it enters into the stomach. From stomach, it enters into the duodenum. What enters? Food. Food enters from stomach to the duodenum. Next, from in the duodenum, that is through liver and pancreas. From duodenum to the small intestine. Next, from small intestine to large intestine. Next, finally, the undigested food is eliminated or removed from the anus. This is the final part of the digestive system. So, the food enters into the mouth, buccal cavity, from buccal cavity to the pharynx, pharynx to the esophagus, esophagus to the stomach, stomach to the duodenum like liver and pancreas. Each secretes some enzymes. With the help of the enzymes, the food is digested, and from the duodenum it enters into the small intestine. The digested food that enters into the small intestine is absorbed by the villi. The small amount of food materials are absorbed by the villi. Here in this form, the villi is present in the small intestine. The food enters into the villi. From the villi, it enters into the blood vessels and also lymph vessels. Through this blood stream and the lymph stream, the food is supplied to the all parts of the body in the small intestine. Next, the undigested food and a lot of water has been absorbed by the large intestine, and undigested food is going to eliminated through the anus by the process of defecation. So this is the flow chart. It is easy to remember the process of the digestive system, how the flow of food from mouth to the anus. This is a flow chart of the digestive system. Here it is all about how the nutrition takes place in the human beings, how the digestive system is going to take place in the digestive system of the human beings. Next topic. Health aspects of digestive system. Health aspects of digestive system. Generally, our digestive system will work properly. But sometimes what we will do, we will mistreat our digestive system by overeating or taking lot of food and taking toxic materials, but unknowingly we mistreat our digestive system. By that process, what will happen? The undigested food or unwanted food material comes out from the digestive system through a technique called as the vomiting. Through the vomiting, in the most of the cases, our digestive system is healthy. But if we mistreat our digestive system by overeating or eating some toxic food materials, one body uses one technique, that is the vomiting technique. Through this technique, the unwanted or undigested food material is sent through the body by the mouth. So, how this vomiting will occur? How this vomiting is going to take place in our body? Let us see. So, how the food is food? Firstly, it enters from mouth to the pharynx, pharynx to the esophagus. Next, it enters into the stomach, we are saying. So, from in the esophagus, we are saying that peristaltic movement, like food moves through the wave-like process. So, from pharynx, the food enters into the esophagus in the peristaltic movement, like wave-like movement. In the vomiting sensation, the food from the stomach, it enters into the esophagus next to the pharynx, buccal cavity, and from the mouth it is going to let out from the mouth. Here in the vomiting sensation, reverse peristaltic movement is going to take place. So, in the vomiting sensation, reverse peristaltic movement. Through this reverse peristaltic movement, the undigested food or unwanted material is letting out from our body by the help of the vomiting technique. So, if the person vomit in a green color vomiting, if a person do, that is called as the liverish. Green color vomit. It's called as liverish. So students think why it is called as a liverish? Why the name is given to the green color vomiting as a liverish? Because if the person takes lot of fat content food, the liver, in the liver what we said, liver secretes one juice, that is bile juice. This bile juice breaks down the complex fats into the simple fats. In the liver, emulsification of fats is going to take place. So, if a person takes lot of fat content food, this liver will not cope up with that fats. Here, the excessive fat cannot be digested in the liver. In such cases, the person vomit in a green color. That vomit is called as the liverish. Next, most of the people are healthy nowadays, and few of them are suffering with some diseases and also sometimes like vomiting. So, the healthy persons will use some techniques to be healthy. Let us see what are the techniques are used by the people to be healthy. Let us see the techniques. Techniques. What are the techniques used by the healthy people? Mostly, they'll drink plenty of water in a day. Drink plenty of water. In the most of the cases, the doctors or our elders suggest us to take more amount of water during the daytime, because in the night time, during the sleep, we will not take any amount of water. We will not drink water for 6 to 7 hours or 7 to 8 hours. Our body is lacking of water. The body gets dehydrated because we will not take the water for 7 to 8 hours. It gets dehydrated. So our parents or grandparents or doctors suggest us to take the water in the morning session after brushing your teeth. Take 2 glasses of water during the morning session immediately after completing your brushing. It keeps you healthy. So the persons who are healthy takes plenty of water in the daytime. Next, take the food leisurely. What is leisurely? Leisurely అంటే ఏంటి అంటే ఫుడ్ ఎప్పుడు ప్లెంటీ ఆఫ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్ వీ షుడ్ నాట్ టేక్ ఎట్ ఎ టైమ్. అంటే ఎక్కువ ఫుడ్ ఒక్కటేసారి తీసుకోవద్దు. లీజర్లీ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ టేక్ ద ఫుడ్ బై ఇంటర్వెల్స్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్. కొద్దిగా తిన్న తర్వాత ఆఫ్టర్ 2 to 3 hours గ్యాప్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ ద ఫుడ్ అగైన్. వీ షుడ్ నాట్ టేక్ ఎట్ ఎ టైమ్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్. మనం చాలా వరకు మనం ఏం చేస్తుంటాం, ఇఫ్ అవర్ మామ్స్ కుక్ అ ఫేవరెట్ ఫుడ్, మన ఫేవరెట్ డిష్ ఏదైనా ఉంటే మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, ఎట్ ఎ టైమ్ విల్ టేక్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫేవరెట్. అలా చేయొద్దు మనం ఎప్పుడు, బికాస్ ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్ ఎట్ ఎ టైమ్ అవర్ డైజెస్టివ్ సిస్టమ్ కెనాట్ వర్క్ ప్రాపర్లీ. ఇట్ టేక్స్ టైమ్ టు డైజెస్ట్ ద ఫుడ్. సో మనం ఎంత ఫేవరెట్ ఫుడ్ అయినా ఇంకేదైనా ఐటమ్ అయినా సరే మనం ఏం చేయాలి అంటే గ్యాప్ ఉండాలి మీల్ టు మీల్ మధ్యలో. 2 to 3 hours గ్యాప్ తర్వాత ఫుడ్ తీసుకుంటే ఇట్ విల్ గెట్ డైజెస్టెడ్ వెరీ ఈజీలీ. దిస్ ఈస్ ద టెక్నిక్, అనదర్ టెక్నిక్ యూజ్డ్ బై ద హెల్తీ పీపుల్. నెక్స్ట్, థరో మాస్టికేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫుడ్. మాస్టికేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్. ఇక్కడ మాస్టికేషన్ అంటే ఏంటి? వాట్ ఇస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద మాస్టికేషన్? మాస్టికేషన్ అంటే ప్రాపర్ చీవింగ్, అంటే బాగా నమలడం. చీవింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫుడ్. చీవింగ్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ నమలడం. చీవింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్. If we do the food properly, if we chew the food properly, it gets easily enters into our digestive system. Proper mastication. Most of our parents suggest us to chew the food before eating. After eating, they will suggest us to chew the food. That is mastication of food. By these 3 techniques, by using these 3 techniques, the people are healthy. There is also another technique, that is you should not do exercises. After eating. You should not after eating. సో మనం తిన్న తర్వాత ఏం చేయొద్దు, ఎక్సర్సైజెస్ చేయొద్దు. కొందరు పిల్లలు ఏం చేస్తారంటే, మా సార్ చెప్పారు, మా మేడం చెప్పారు యోగా చేయాలి, ఎక్సర్సైజెస్ చేయాలి అని చెప్పేసి బాగా తింటారు. ఎందుకంటే యోగా చేస్తే, ఎక్సర్సైజెస్ చేస్తే ఎనర్జీ లాస్ అవుతాం, ముందే తినేసి ఎక్సర్సైజెస్ చేసేద్దాం అనే థాట్లో కూడా చాలామంది పిల్లలు ఉంటారు. బట్ వీ షుడ్ నాట్ డూ ద ఎక్సర్సైజెస్ ఆఫ్టర్ ఈటింగ్. తిన్న తర్వాత మనం ఎప్పుడు వీ షుడ్ నాట్ ట్రై ద ఎక్సర్సైజెస్. By following these 4 techniques, the people are healthy. That is, plenty of water, taking plenty of water, and take the food leisurely, and mastication, proper mastication of the food, that is chewing of the food, and you should not do the extra exercises after eating any food. So students, here we discussed the techniques that is used by the healthy persons. Next, in some people, the problem that is intestinal ulcers are occurs. What is it? Intestinal ulcers. Because intestinal ulcers ante enti, what is the meaning of intestinal ulcers is nothing but the food we are taking should be taken in time. In time lo manam food తీసుకోవాలి. In the most of the cases the business persons or busy persons, what they will do, they'll skip their meal. అంటే ఒక పూట తిని ఇంకొక పూట తినకపోవడం. Because of their busy schedule, they will not take the food properly in time. Because of this reason, the burning sensation will occur in the stomach, and ulcers, this burning sensation leads to the ulcers. Intestinal ulcers are in the stomach also, the ulcers will form. What is the reason behind this intestinal ulcers formation is that not taking the food in time. In time lo manam food తీసుకోకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది, స్టమక్ లో కానీ ఇంటెస్టైన్ లో కానీ ఏమవుతుంది, అల్సర్స్ ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. మనకు స్టమక్లో ఏమవుతుందంటే బర్నింగ్ సెన్సేషన్ ఇట్ అక్కర్స్. అండ్ కొందరు పీపుల్, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీపుల్ ఇన్ దీస్ డేస్ ఆర్ suffering with this intestinal ulcers because of their busy schedule. They are not taking the food in time and they are not taking the food properly. So students, in your house also, mostly our mothers will not take the food in time. Most of the women are suffering with this intestinal ulcers because in the work or in the busy schedule they are missing their meals. So please suggest your parents or your mother or any elders to take the food in time properly, and say to them that if we not take the food properly in time, the intestinal ulcers will form in their body. So inform your parents or elders about these intestinal ulcers and suggest them to take the food in time. Next, there is another reason for the intestinal ulcers, because what is that reason is that one bacteria is also a reason for these intestinal ulcers. This is the recent researchers are saying that not only the food taking in time or food which is not taking in time is not only affecting for the formation of intestinal ulcers, but also one bacteria is also affecting for the formation of intestinal ulcers. So students, this is all about health aspects of digestive system. మనం ఏమేమి డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్నాం, దట్ ఈస్ వామిటింగ్ సెన్సేషన్. మన స్టమక్లో ఏమవుతుంది, రివర్స్ పెరిస్టాల్టిక్ మూమెంట్ అయ్యి వామిటింగ్ ఇట్ అక్కర్స్. నెక్స్ట్, ఇఫ్ ద గ్రీన్ కలర్ వామిటింగ్ అక్కర్స్, ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ద లీవరిష్, బికాస్ ద లీవర్ కెనాట్ కోప్ అప్ విత్ ద ఫ్యాట్స్. ద లీవర్ ఈస్ హెల్ప్ఫుల్ టు ప్రొడ్యూస్ ద బైల్ జ్యూస్, అండ్ ద బైల్ జ్యూస్ break downs the fats into simple fats. And next we discussed about the techniques, that is we should take a plenty of water, take the food leisurely and mastication of food, and should not do the exercises after eating. Next we discussed about the intestinal ulcers. This is all about the health aspects of digestive system. Next topic is malnutrition. So students, have you listened the word malnutrition? Malnutrition. Before discussing the malnutrition, let us discuss about balanced diet. During this corona days, we are listening about this balanced diet. What is meaning of balanced diet? What includes the balanced diet? Let us see. Balanced diet includes that in the meal we should include carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. If we include these all nutrients in our food, in our daily food items, that is called as a balanced diet. What are those nutrients? Carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, next minerals, and next fats. So balanced diet is nothing but taking all these nutrient content foods. We should include all this nutrient content food in our daily life. This is called a balanced diet. Next, what is malnutrition? What is the meaning of malnutrition? Malnutrition is nothing but if we skip any one of these nutrients, if we skip to take in the food, like if we miss the carbohydrates, proteins, or if we miss the vitamins, carbohydrates in our daily life taking food, it leads to the malnutrition. That is, missing of any of the nutrients in the balanced diet leads to the malnutrition. So in our world, 2/3 of the people are suffering with lack of food and 1/3 of people is suffering with the obesity. What is the reason behind this? There are people, most of the people are suffering with lack of food and 1/3 of the people are suffering with obesity, that is excessive eating. And next, in the malnutrition, what are the reasons? Can you guess the reasons behind the malnutrition? What are the reasons why we are not taking these nutrients? Why the people in our India, mostly the children are malnutrients? Why? What is the reason behind this? Let us see. Reasons are mainly due to their poverty, or poor people cannot afford a good food that includes carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals. And next, willful starvation. స్టార్వేషన్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఉపవాసాలు ఉండడం, ఫాస్టింగ్ ఉండడం, విల్ఫుల్గా మనం కావాలని ఫుడ్ని తీసుకోకపోవడం, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ద విల్ఫుల్ స్టార్వేషన్. ద రీజన్స్ బిహైండ్ ద మాల్న్యూట్రిషన్ ఈజ్ మెయిన్లీ డ్యూ టు ద పావర్టీ అండ్ విల్ఫుల్ స్టార్వేషన్. And one more reason is that lack of awareness about the food. About food. Mainly these three are the reasons the persons or the people are getting into the malnutrition. This malnutrition is of three types. Malnutrition is of three types. What is caloric malnutrition, next protein malnutrition, Next, protein calorie malnutrition. So, these are all the three types of malnutrition, that is calorie malnutrition, protein malnutrition, next protein calorie malnutrition. Here let us discuss some of the diseases that causes due to the malnutrition. First one is kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor disease. Kwashiorkor disease. This is a protein deficiency disease. Protein deficiency disease. So, the person who are suffering with the kwashiorkor disease, that person is taking the food which is the lack of proteins. తను తీసుకునే ఫుడ్లో ప్రోటీన్స్ ల్యాక్ అవ్వడం వల్ల, ప్రోటీన్స్ తగ్గడం వల్ల ద పర్సన్ ఆర్ సఫరింగ్ విత్ ద క్వాషియోకర్ డిసీజ్. సో లెట్ us see the symptoms. What are the symptoms in the kwashiorkor disease? ఏమేం సిమ్టమ్స్ ఉండొచ్చు? కెన్ యూ గెస్ ద సిమ్టమ్స్ ఆఫ్ ద kwashiorkor diseased people? Here in this people, fluffiness in your face and hands are also fluffy, legs, stomach is also fluffy. Fluffy is nothing but lauga vaachinattu undadam. So face, hands, stomach, these are fluffy. Fluffy is nothing but ubbadam lekapothe vaayadam. So this is the symptom. If the child look like fluffy face, fluffy hands, legs and fluffy stomach, he is suffering with the kwashiorkor diseases. Next, in the muscles are weak, tissues are also weak in this kwashiorkor disease. Next, another symptom is that why the hands or stomach are fluffy, because in the body of these people consisting of water, due to the intestinal fluids are present or enters into their body. Because of this reason, their body and stomach and face is fluffy. This is all about the kwashiorkor disease. Let us discuss the another malnutrition disease in your next class. So students, this is the right choice for you to get good marks in the SSC. So this is the right platform to gain the knowledge. So please do join with us in the ABC Educational Learning app. Thank you.